All right, let's dive in. Today we're breaking down a pretty fiery argument about a very fragile ceasefire negotiation between the U.S. and Iran. Now, the commentary we're analyzing claims the entire deal hangs on a single question, and the answer, well, it's probably not what you're thinking.
And that question is this. In a global crisis, who do you really trust? Seriously, this one question. It's the foundation for everything we're about to get into.
Okay, so let's set the stage here. What we've got is this incredibly delicate peace negotiation. You've got two major adversaries, and then there's this third country trying to play peacemaker, right? Trying to bridge that gap.
So, you have the U.S. and Iran trying to hammer out a deal, and Pakistan steps in to be the mediator. But here's the thing. The commentary we're looking at says this whole setup creates a huge problem right from the get-go, a credibility problem. It basically forces you to make a choice. Who are you going to trust more here, the Prime Minister of Pakistan or the U.S. President?
And the whole argument against trusting this broker, well, it all hinges on one single, pretty dramatic moment. Someone made a public statement, and according to this source, it changed the entire game.
And the source material makes a really big deal about the timing. I mean, we're talking about the most sensitive, delicate moment in these peace talks. And right then, Pakistan's defense minister walks up to a microphone, and what he says becomes the absolute bombshell at the center of this whole debate. And this is the quote. The whole argument is built on this one statement. He's quoted as saying, "I hope and pray people who created this cancerous state on Palestinian land can get rid of the European Jews that will burn in hell." I mean, wow. It's a shocking thing to say, right? And for the person writing this commentary, that one quote is it. That's all the proof they need.
So with a statement like that just hanging in the air, the commentary pivots to its main point. It's basically asking, how can you possibly be a neutral arbiter, a fair referee, when one of your top officials is out there saying things like this?
And this is really the core problem the source is pointing to. Think about it. Can a country really be an honest broker in a deal between the U.S. and Iran when a senior official is talking like that about Israel? You know, one of America's closest allies in the region? The commentary's answer? Absolutely not. No way. This really breaks it down, doesn't it? It shows the huge contradiction that the commentary says you just can't look away from. On one side, you've got the official story. Hey, we're Pakistan. We're a neutral broker. But on the other side, you have the raw evidence. A top minister from that same government calling a country cancerous and, well, wishing for people to burn in hell. It's hard to square those two things. So the commentary doesn't stop there. It really builds its case point by point. First, it flat out calls the minister's statement anti-Semitism, pure and simple. Then, it brings up the past, right? It reminds everyone that, hey, this is the same country where Osama bin Laden was hiding out for years. The subtext there is that this isn't a one-off, it's a pattern. You put all that together and the source basically says, case closed. Pakistan is not a credible negotiator.
Okay, so if the argument is that the international broker is totally untrustworthy, then what? Where does that leave things? Well, this is where the commentary offers its alternative. It has a very clear idea of where that trust should go instead.
It's a simple question, really. If you can't trust the broker, who's left to trust?
And the commentary has a very direct answer. Trust your own guy. Trust the U.S. president. The logic presented is, look, you should always give your own side the benefit of the doubt first. It points to the president's track record on military stuff as proof that he's reliable. It even addresses that whole no wars promise, saying, hey, that didn't mean no wars, it meant no more of these endless forever wars. And all of these pieces are meant to lead to one conclusion. The president has earned our trust. So you've got this really stark choice being presented, right? This broker who can't be trusted on one side, and this leader who supposedly can be trusted on the other. And it all boils down to the commentary's final, big-picture theme. You have got to know who your friends are.
Now, this is where things get really interesting, maybe even a little counterintuitive. The commentary actually calls that awful statement from the defense minister refreshing. Refreshing! Why on earth would they say that? Well, the argument is that when people say the quiet part out loud like that, it's actually helpful. It cuts through all the diplomatic jargon and just shows you who people really are and what they really think. No more guessing games.
And this whole worldview gets wrapped up in that old saying, show me your friends and I will show you your future. The idea is simple but powerful. The alliances you make, the people you trust, that's what's going to determine where you end up.
So, at the end of the day, this commentary leaves us with a really tough question to chew on. When a world leader says something so blunt, so unfiltered, is that a disaster,
A total breakdown of diplomacy? Or is it actually a gift? A moment of clarity where we finally get to see the truth, no matter how ugly it is. That's really what's at the heart of this whole thing.